Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. I got to respond to the janitor of YouTube yet again. First of all, I did not contact any such thing. Provide the evidence. Do it. You can't. You said out of your own mouth that voicemails were left. Well, play the voicemails. You know what I think? I think you're a fraud. That's my opinion. It is my opinion that you are a fraud. And I'll tell you why. Because you made a contract with the people that if you made $100 in your BroFundMe account, if you made $100, that you would excuse yourself away from YouTube for 7 days. Well, guess what, pal? You provided the proof that you in fact made $125, and you stated out of your own mouth that you're going to excuse yourself for 7 days, but you didn't do it. So you violated your own verbal contract with the very people that may give you money on GoFundMe, which is fraud, by the way. Did you know that? So somebody could make a complaint into GoFundMe, the executive staff, because you are on videos making these statements that if you make so much money at a certain amount of time, that you're going to excuse yourself away. Now, this is my opinion as well, because we're looking into this. It's very possible that you're involved in some sort of criminal activity, and you're using GoFundMe as a criminal base. And what I mean by this is, you are harassing other people on the internet. And there's comments that I've read by these other ladies here where you've dropped their docs and you're making threats to them and all this other nonsense. And essentially you're telling your victims that if they'll give you money, then you'll be quiet and you won't attack them for 7 days. Is that right? Now you're using your own pops to set up yet another GoFundMe for $5,200? What? I wouldn't give you a dime for anything. Nope, sorry. Because what is that money for? Excuse me, he was in real estate. Excuse me, you just made mention out of your mouth that you got money. You're not broke, right? So what do you need $5,200 for? Is this another scam? Is this another fraud? Why wasn't the evidence provided? Certainly if he was contacted and there were voicemails left talking about all kinds of stuff, he's going to have a phone number associated with that. He sure is. Now, just because somebody leaves a phone message doesn't mean diddly squat. Sure doesn't, because people can pull audio from another audio source and use that as audio for the voicemail. Listen, pal, I've been in telecommunications for 21 years as a PBX programmer, so these little games that you're playing, I know how to get around all of them. I sure do. In the case that you abuse some sneaky-ass way to play games and start pointing your fingers at me or somebody else, when it comes to telecommunication, you're going to get busted, buddy. You sure will. So you go ahead and you tell Boyd to come on out to Colorado and file those paper. I hope he does. I can't wait, because guess what? You're the source. You are the source. You are the direct source of my response, which means you're going to have all your internet panties dug in all your phones. See this crap about you're going to go to the store and you're going to pick up a burner phone and there's no way they're going to catch you? Wrong. Do you realize that the number of the phone is on the receipt, dummy? In conjunction with that video camera pointed at your face. Here's another thing there, Cupcake. It doesn't matter if you had a homeless guy race in there, get you a burner phone, come back and give it to you. Do you know how they pop you? And you better know this, and you got to know this, because I know this. I mean, this is common knowledge. In the surveillance apparatus that has been set up in this country and abroad, especially under Five Eyes, all they need is your voice stamp, dummy. They got you, boom, just like that. The voice stamp is matched up with the telephone number that is then matched up with the serial number of the phone. This is how they get you, right down to an inch of where you sit, buddy. So it is my opinion that you're trying to use me to commit fraud against the people. You're going to raise money for what? For what? Excuse me, you made mention that Boyd had been in real estate for 40 years. Well, see, what you don't know is I got family members that have also been in real estate. Isn't that neat? Sure have. So I know how much money we're talking here. Sure do. See, you're going to have a problem, buddy, big time. You sitting there lying, saying that I contact. No, I didn't. Prove it. Provide the evidence. You can't, and you know you can't. You're just talking trash again. So, you know what? I suggest that Boyd, I'm giving you advice right now. I'm giving Boyd advice because I can, because it's free. I suggest that you file any paperwork in the United States and or your jurisdiction immediately. Absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, if I get a copy of it, if I get wind of it, and one piece of information is incorrect, I'm going to have you arrested. You got me? If you play any games with the telecommunications, I know how to get you busted. Sure do. Because I worked for the Martin Mariettas. I worked for the FBI. Sure did. I worked for government agencies. And private sectors that had the highest security known to man. Yep, sure did. With the biometrics in 1998. They had biometrics in 1998. That's a fact. They had the drug testing. They pull a hair follicle out of your head to tell you how much drugs you did in the last 6 months. Right down to the milligram. So, all this nonsense that you're spewing out of your mouth, again, it is my opinion that you're attempting to commit fraud. What is this money going to be used for? For what? Yeah. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, if you give this troll, and Mr. James here, China, is a troll. That is already a proven fact. This is why China, will not contact law enforcement, because he knows every word that I've stated out of my mouth is an absolute fact. That if he goes and files some sort of complaint, they're going to go digging around in his internet panties, and they're going to find out all of the illegal crap and all the harassment that he's done himself, and all of the slander and all of the defamation of character. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the laws in Canada are extremely strict, and he knows it, and I know it too. Sure do. See, when you attacked me, buddy, China, when you attacked me, that was the biggest mistake of all your life, because I ain't dumb. Ain't that guy you're going to push around. I'm not the guy that you're going to play little scams with when it comes to telecommunications, because I got you on every part of that. Oh, you bet. See, somebody can spoof a telephone number, and they take, like I said, a secondary audio file from a video of a previous video. They play that into the voicemail of the person they're calling with the spoof number to make it appear that somebody else called the number. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, when you spoof something, especially internationally, that is a crime. If you're spoofing the number as a way to conceal yourself, that is a crime. The great thing is, all calls in the United States and internationally are being recorded by an organization, an Israeli organization out of Missouri called Amdocs, with a subpoena, because every call that is made in the United States and abroad and internationally has what is called a time stamp. That means it's the day, the date, the time. The time meaning the hour, the minute, the second, and the millisecond. So there's no way to get it wrong. So when Boyd comes to Colorado and plays these little games and, oh, I gotta call him, whatever, because somebody's playing a game? If you really want to push the issue, all I have to do is pull a subpoena from Inbox with a time stamp associated with that telephone, Boyd's cell number, and you're done, dude. Whoever made that call, it'll be traced right down to a square inch or where they sit. So, man, somebody's going to jail. You got that? Be careful what you're doing, buddy, because you ain't dealing with a dummy, especially when it comes to telecommunication. I'm going to get you good. So, again, China, you are committing crimes on the internet, and you know you are. This is why you haven't filed a police report. This is why you're not going to. And this crap about Boyd is going to come to Colorado and do it. I triple dog dare you. I triple dog dare you. Because as soon as he gets any part of that wrong, I'll have him arrested as well. Isn't that neat? Keep something in mind, James. Everything that you're doing, it's all being ripped and archived. You got me? So if you think you're going to say something today and you're going to delete the video, or it's going to be flagged down, or you're going to take it down, remove it, delete it, edit it, too late. It's already been ripped. All of it's archived, sitting on thumb drives. Your own little folder is just you. So when you make that mistake and you do something incredibly stupid, we're going to have you arrested. You got me? And there are people right now building a case against you themselves. This is away from me. I have nothing to do with that part of it. Yeah. All these people have to do is get their case number from their municipality, from their jurisdiction, and their jurisdiction, once they investigate that in fact you have been harassing them and making threats towards them and trying to extort money out of them through extortion, right? By the means of, okay, you guys can give me money and I'll go away for 7 days if you go to my GoFundMe. Dude, that's extortion. All right? You're going to be arrested. I don't care how much money you got. You might want to save some money for bail. Because you know I'm right when it comes to the judicial system, when it comes to online harassment and criminal activity on the internet. Canada, Australia, and England take this crap extremely seriously. They sure do, buddy. Keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth. Your video has already been archived. And if you don't believe it, I'm going to leave the archive down below. Isn't that neat? We are doing our homework, buddy. And like I said to you before, the biggest mistake you made in all of your electronic life is when you attacked me. Because I don't fear nobody, dude. And nothing scares me. Not even little old you. You got that? You put out this information so that other trolls will go for the information so you can use these other troll-tards to do things that are irresponsible. These other troll-tards think that they can get away with things, but they can't. I'm sorry. Every keystroke is recorded. Every video that you watch is being recorded on 7 sides. Sure is. And you know it, Janitor. You sure do. This is why I try to tell people. Everything you're doing on the internet, especially when you're sending out a comment, when you're sending out a message, when you're sending out a text, you think you're all hidden and everything's all... No, It's being recorded on 7 different sides. Minimum 7 different sides. Probably more when you're dealing with the email part. Right? So keep running your mouth, James. This is so entertaining. I'm not stopping. And if you don't stop, I don't care. Spend more money on me. I love it. Spend the money. Spend it all, dude. Spend it all. See you around.